I got foundation on my shirt. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are rounding up my July favorites and flops, all the products that worked really well for me, the ones I didn't exactly love, and the ones that absolutely did not work, and all of the details on why. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching, and don't forget to subscribe because I do upload every other day, and that'll be the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So, I'm not even going to waste any time on a long-winded intro. Let's jump right into it. All right, so first, we did just get the announcement that Rare Beauty is coming to Boxycharm. I'm really excited about it. If you have not heard, then honestly, have you been living under a rock? I'm just kidding. I will link a video I did up here of all the current spoilers. You can check that video out. But I did want to walk you through the 4 Rare Beauty products that I'm loving right now and I'm really hoping do come to a box. First is the blush I am wearing today. This is the Rare Beauty Melting Blush in the shade Nearly Neutral. Now, the reason I love this blush so much is it is a cream, but it works like a powder. So you can take it on a brush like I do and just pat it into the cheeks, and it goes on top of powder without disturbing what's underneath. Or you can use your fingers or a sponge to apply it more like a cream. This is one of the few blushes I found that calls itself a cream to powder that is actually a cream to powder. A lot of ones that I love, so I love the Jouer cream blushes. They actually are a cream. They are not a powder. They will break up your foundation if you've powdered before you use it. This won't give you that issue. So nothing wrong with the Jouer ones. Just understand, do not powder your face before you use them. This one, doesn't matter. Super user-friendly. Can't go wrong. I am also wearing the lip balm, the liquid lip balm. It is a gloss in the exact same shade, Nearly Neutral. Both of these are absolutely stunning. They wear beautifully, but I love the way the monochromatic works together because even though they are the same shade, there's a tiny bit of a difference where one is a little bit more pink and one is a tiny bit deeper, so when you wear them together, it's still monochromatic. It still gives you very blended vibes, but in a way that is not like too matchy-matchy. I also received the birthday gift from Sephora, which was the matte lip cream in the shade Confident, and the liquid blush in the shade Adore. Now I'm going to swatch these for you because I have not worn them on camera, but I have been playing around with them. The lip is a really beautiful mauve color, and you know Boxycharm likes sending us our pinky mauves. Definitely a beautiful color. I wanted something a little bit more neutral today, so I didn't wear this. Same reason I didn't use the blush. Very similarly, these are more on the matchy-matchy side. Now the blush is going to look very pink. See how light it is next to the lip color? But you wouldn't swatch it like that on your cheeks. You would take a little bit on your finger, and you would pat it out, and it would be a little bit more like this. So I actually think it's a beautiful color. I have worn it very lightweight with just a tinted moisturizer and a little bit of setting powder, and it just is beautiful on the skin. I am going to go wipe this off before I get it all over my shirt, but all 4 of these are amazing products. I have also used the liquid eyeshadows, and those are nice, but they are not in the same category as these 4 products. Now, we do not know which products are coming to Boxycharm from Rare Beauty. I am optimistic that it's going to be a premium takeover, but you all know how it works. The second I say that, it doesn't happen for like 6 months. So I'm hopeful that we're going to get quite a bit from the brand, and if they're making such a big announcement, then it's a possibility that there's a larger partnership coming, and there will be more products coming out throughout. I'm going to be honest. We just had the Anastasia Beverly Hills takeover. In the past, we had the Fenty Beauty takeover, and I love the one brand takeovers because it's a really good way to get a lot of product and try a lot of things from one brand. But I will say, I love when things are kind of peppered in throughout the year, and we get a little bit of the brand so that, like, I have certain brands, like NARS, for example. We've gotten a lot of NARS products, but never all at once. So we've got blushes from them. We've got, I have lip product, and so many great products, but not all at once. So that's my 2 cents on that. Second, and this is the last month I'm going to put this in a favorites video, but I have to mention it because I'm obsessed. I did not use it today, and I am actually upset that I didn't. This is the Beauty For Real Golden Hour palette. The blue that I used today was from a different palette, and honestly, I think this one is better. I think it just catches the light a little bit more, and I didn't use this at all. So I think I want like a little more warmth in the crease, and the palette I used didn't have like that warm toned orange. So I'm going to take a little bit of a blaze and just add a tiny bit above the blue. And don't you see how adding that tiny bit of warmth just brings the whole eye together? Like, it's such a simple step, But the second you put a really warm tone shade like this next to a blue, the blue just becomes so much more vibrant. So all in all, I think the balance of this palette makes the blue so much more vibrant, but also the blue itself is a brighter formula than the one I used today. So I'm obsessed with this palette. It did come in Ipsy. You can still pick it up on beautyforreal.com. You can use the code BRETT20 to save 20%. No, it is not an affiliate code. It is just a discount code. I'm not making commission off of it. But if you don't have this palette, you need it. While we're on the subject of Boxycharm, I'm going to do a favorite and flop in one. I received the shade Malt in the long-wearing liquid lipstick. It was really brown, definitely not for me. I ended up wearing this one in that video. This is the shade Bohemian, which is a beautiful red, and I am so much happier with the red. The formula is amazing. I just didn't get a color I liked. So this is a color fail, but not a formula fail. In my glossy box this month, I got the Ciate London Matchmaker Illuminating Blush, and it made me pull out my Ciate London regular blush. I liked this. It was very nice, but it did remind me how in love I am with this formula. It is not luminous in the way that it is shiny like this one is, but it does give you a beautiful glow to the skin. It's a little more lit from within. It's very glowy, dewy. It is just stunning across the board. It's one of those formulas that even when you have blush on, like I have blush on today, you can take a tiny bit of this and add it on top, and it just kind of adds a little more dimension to the cheek. Like I didn't need this. I was happy with how everything looked before. But taking a tiny bit of this blush just to kind of meld the highlight and the blush together, see how it just warms the cheeks in a different way? Like every time I use this blush recently, I can't stop looking at the way the cheek looks because it just blurs, smooths, and diffuses everything beautifully. My complexion loves this month have both been from When Life Gives You Lemons. I've been playing around with these on and off camera. I did use the primer today. I did not use this because I wanted something a little more hydrating and radiant. This is an acne-fighting niacinamide-infused foundation, matte finish. I wear the shade 172C. Today, I am wearing the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation because I did want something a little more glowy, a little more dewy, a little more hydrating. This is more of a matte finish. Beautiful if you have acne-prone skin, blemish-prone skin, or you're just oily. This combo is super long wear and is stunning on the skin. It doesn't look like cakey matte, but it is definitely a matte finish. The closest equivalent I can say to the finish would be the Jouer foundation because it's that like demi-matte without looking cakey and dry, but it is beautiful, especially if you have oily skin. I feel like the past few months I haven't had a lot of favorites and flops, and this month I have so many. I believe I mentioned this already last month, but I do need to give it another mention because I use it every single time I do my makeup. It is the Farrah Powder and Go Blush and Bronzer, Contour, whatever, brush. I love this. I have been using it to contour and then bronze the face. It's more of a universal powder brush, and you know I notoriously hate double-sided brushes because I store everything in a cup. That's my dirty brush cup. And then I also have a bin of my clean brushes that lives right in front of me next to my camera. So if I need any other brushes, they're right there. I hate double-sided brushes because it's like impossible to store them without like ruining one of the brushes. So this one actually lives like balancing on top of the cup like this, which you know how compulsive I am. That bothers me so much, but not enough to make me not use the brush. So I do wish that it was two separate brushes and I would still use the crap out of it. However, you know, I will make do because it is that good that it makes me not care that it's double-sided. I have a few brushes like that, like this pencil brush from Beauty For Real, also double-sided. I don't care. It's the best pencil brush because it's dome-tipped on one side, pointed on the other, dense enough to diffuse product, but not so dense that it pulls everything off. And every now and then I stumble upon a double-sided brush that makes me not care that it's double-sided. Hi, Mac. The last brush I had that was double-sided that made me not care it was double-sided was the complexion brush. It was two-sided from It Cosmetics. And now that I think about it, I want to break it out again because I saw somebody using it on Instagram and I love that brush. But because it's double-sided, I hate using it. Every time I film, he wants to sit right here on my keyboard. I have not used these on YouTube, but I did talk about it over on Flip. Flip is an app where you can do like micro reviews. Think of it as like TikTok, but for product reviews. It's kind of cool. I did use the Metalist Liquid Glitter Toppers. On there, I have two different shades I have these ones, and I have, they're over here. These, they come in 3-packs, but the colors pop out individually. You can use them, and they go right back in, so they're really easy to travel with. I think they're beautiful, and I think they could rival the Stila glitters. One thing I will say about them is that they are a micronized glitter, so they don't feel chunky, but they just give you this beautiful glimmery finish. Obviously, I have a million lights on here, so it's going to be harder for you to see the sparkle. It just kind of shows everything is wet and metallic, but you have to take my word for it. These are absolutely stunning. Now, since I did show some love to the Touch in Sol Metalist line, I do have to mention a flop from them as well. This is the Galaxy Setting Spray. Mine has settled because I won't use it anymore. But when you shake it up, it has the emulsified pigment that gives you that like super shimmery finish everywhere. I used to love the one from Iconic London because it just gave you this beautiful glow. This one is just liquid sparkles. So if you like a glittery finish, you will absolutely love this. But after I used this, I felt like my face, it looked really nice on camera. And then when I looked up close in the mirror, I just looked like I was sparkling. And we are not in Twilight, and I don't want to look like I rolled myself in glitter. So this is a pass for me, especially because a lot of times we do our makeup and we want to hit with that final glow before we walk out the door. And this will get glitter all over your clothing. I was wearing a black t-shirt when I used it because I'm basically always in a black shirt, except today. Today we're in pink. But when I used it, I thought everything looked great, and then I looked down and I saw little sparkles literally everywhere. All right, I'm going to jump into my 3 last fails before I go into my last 3 faves, because you know I like to end on a positive note. This is from the motd brushes that came in the Ipsy this month. I like the big fluffy one. I used this today just to kind of spot powder. The blush brush, the Getting Cheeky With It brush, absolutely never going to use. It is too dense for cheek. It might be okay for like pressing out the under eye for like powdering this area, but I do not like it for cheek. I do not like it for blush. So I'm going to have to find a way to use it because it's just too dense for what I would want to use it for. And I like you can even see the difference right here. When I press this down, it's denser, whereas this one, it kind of like swallows my finger. That's how, this one, the brushes move. It's too dense, nice and fluffy. Like you can totally see it. So when I place this one on the cheek, it kind of cups the cheek nicely. This one, you can see the bristles bend as opposed to them hugging the cheek. From Hip Dot, I got the Sun Goddess palette, and I did let you guys know in that video that mine came cracked. The glass had not fallen out, so I taped the crap out of this, so I'm not afraid of getting glass in the formula. But the formula just didn't do enough for me. The highlighters were pretty, but they took a little more time to buff than I would have liked. The blush, I felt, was patchy. I do need to try it with more brushes or more techniques. But even with my favorite blush brush, the Morphe E4, that I've literally been using for like 5 years, it is my favorite blush brush. It just didn't go on as smoothly as my other ones. And I'm going to be completely honest, I am at the point in my life where if the product doesn't work, I don't want to find 9,000 different ways or different tools to try and make it work. I just want to stick to the things that I know that I love that work well. The Rare Beauty blush I mentioned earlier, you can use it with your fingers, a brush, a sponge. It doesn't matter. It just works. And for the amount of time and energy and money that goes into these products, we should honestly be able to get them to work. Last flop is the Real Techniques Instant Brush Cleaner. It is a little oily. It's a little greasy, not going to lie. And it didn't get my brushes cleaned as much as my Cinema Secrets. Now, I recently restocked my Cinema Secrets, and they're coming out with a lemon-scented one. So I'm really excited to try that one out. This one just didn't do it for me. So I am going to continue to use it. I'm going to use it up. And I like to keep this next to my filming setup. So if I have a brush that I use like a black eyeshadow on or something that's super colorful that could stain a brush, I can clean it in the moment. But it just doesn't do as much as my Cinema Secrets. And it gives this little like greasy feel to it, and I don't love that. And on to my last 3 faves. So the first 2 come out of the premium Anastasia Beverly Hills Boxycharm Takeover. The first is the Clear Brow Gel. I have used this in the past, and I have not had it for probably 6 months to a year, and it just sets everything down beautifully, lifts up every hair, locks it in place. It is the perfect finishing touch for any brow. Not sticky, and it's not crunchy, but it definitely doesn't move. Like if you touch it when it dries, you'll feel that it's in there, but I like that because it means my brows aren't going anywhere, but it doesn't feel crunchy on the eye. I've also really been liking the Lash Brag mascara. You won't notice it because, again, I've got falsies on today, but this might be in the running for my top 3 mascaras. Now, you know that the 2 that I love, not just right now, always, are the Beauty For Real High Def Mascara, and I really have been liking the Clean Big from Kosas. This is like all-time ride or die. This one I've just been really liking lately. This one might be in contention with these for my favorite mascaras. Definitely Beauty For Real is going to take the cake just because the applicator is so tiny that it just gets every single lash and then some. You know me, I need my lashes to be like coated in mascara because my lashes are, they're not sparse, but they're not super thick, so I need all the help I can get. The High Def Mascara does it. I'm sure all of you saw the blanket moving behind me while I was filming. Mac decided to burrow, so we are interrupting this video to show you the burrow kitty. And the last product is the Michaela Glam Light Highlighter. Now, I used the eyeshadow palette a few more times, and it is great. But when I put an eyeshadow palette in my favorites, I want it to be because, like, it is ride or die, can't live without it, amazing. And that palette is good, but it is also currently sold out, which makes it one issue. And, I mean, this is just such a user-friendly, everybody can use it as an everyday palette, and it basically covers every single, you know, need that you might need in your daily eyeshadow palette. If you are a makeup lover and a collector, you will absolutely love the Michaela palette, but I don't think it's necessary for everyone if you're not going to use the greens and the blues and the purples. The highlighter, however, if your skin is mine or even a little darker, it is stunning. Obviously, if you're much deeper, it is going to be too light for you. I've already added highlight today, but I'm going to take a tiny bit of this and just add a little bit more glow. Building it up to, like, you remember when I used to put on like 9 highlighters? We're going to that status today. It just has such a beautiful pearlescent to it that highlights the cheek, doesn't accentuate texture, and just looks beautiful. Now, I do always recommend with every blush, take your blush, and pull the highlighter over the cheek just to diffuse it a little so that you don't get that stripe where the highlight is, and instead you just get this really glowing, ethereal cheek. That's what we're going for today, and I love this highlighter for that. It is beautiful on the eyes in the inner corner. It just is one of those colors that I think I can find myself grabbing towards as an everyday universal highlighter. It looks super frosty in the pan, but even when you swatch it, it is really just shine. And when you diffuse it out, whatever color is underneath does shine through. So it does give you that beautiful glow. I could see why it might not work on super, super deep skin or even like medium deep skin, but for anybody on that fair side, you will absolutely love it. And there are my favorites and flops for the month of July. Let me know your thoughts down below. I will link a video up above from my birthday giveaway, which is still going on. So make sure you enter to win the Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube giveaways to win one of the 3 massive prizes. Thank you again, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.